I will allow you to go under one condition. The hopeful look his boy gave him made the last of his doubt melt away. You take at least a day to prepare. No rushing into something so dangerous. Understood? Farron jumped up and hugged his father tightly. I will dedicate the whole day to preparing, and I will come back alive and well. Thank you, Dad. Thank you so much. Kieran sighed and rubbed the boy's back gently. Don't make me regret my decision, all right? You can take Prometheus with you to help carry your luggage. Take good care of yourself out there, and send me letters if you can. He grabbed Farron's face and made him look him in the eye. But your first priority is keeping yourself alive. Understood? Don't take unnecessary risks and return home safe. I will be as careful as I can. No unnecessary risks. Eating at least once a day. Don't trust strangers on a whim, Farron said, practically glowing with excitement. This felt like a whole new start. A next chapter. A new purpose even. Kieran nodded and pressed a kiss on the top of his son's head before letting go of his face. He reached behind the pillow on his chair and handed the diary to Varian. I'll pack food for you. Thanks, Dad. I have to go talk to Rapunzel. Then I'll come back to pack my bags. The young alchemist looked at the diary with wonder. He carefully put it in his over-the-shoulder bag and straightened up. He could barely contain his excitement as he ran outside, quickly making his way over to Corona to tell Rapunzel everything. Varian couldn't sleep that night. He was excited and extremely nervous. It was making him restless and very fidgety, so he just spent the night looking out the window. He watched the moon slowly climb to its highest point before sinking down to the ground on the other side. He watched the stars as they disappeared behind clouds, only to appear again later. The night sky in its beauty was captivating him. It had a calming effect, yet he still couldn't sleep. Soon the darkness was being replaced by a beautiful orange sunrise. Hues of yellow, red, pink, and orange tinged the sky, making it look like a beautiful painting. The colors slowly mixed together as the sun climbed over the horizon, all blending into a blue shade. It was a nice day for the end of winter, a few degrees above zero with a watery sun. Maybe spring was finally breaking through. Today was the day. Today he would leave old Corona behind and follow his mother's footsteps. Varian changed his clothes. He put on a blue shirt with rolled-up sleeves, dark blue pants held up by a belt with a symbol of the Dark Kingdom on it, and some regular boots. He topped off his shirt with an orange bandana and hung a belt with some of those balls with chemical compounds around his shoulders. Acid, sticky bombs, and other concussions to protect himself from danger with. He grabbed the totem that had been included in the hole in the wall. He would have missed it if he hadn't gone back to check yesterday. The Corona totem. It had somehow been preserved there, in that little hole in the wall. He clipped his money pouch to his belt and checked if everything was in his backpack before going down to the living room. Kieran wasn't there, so Varian went to look outside. His father was preparing the Prometheus by feeding him and putting the rest of Varian's luggage in his bag. It's almost time, the man spoke, having noticed his son standing in the doorway. Yeah, it is. And I'm ready, Varian answered. Not yet, Kieran said, handing his kid a ham sandwich. You haven't had breakfast yet. Most important meal of the day. The alchemist took the sandwich and smiled, biting into it. Thanks, Dad, he muttered in between bites. He ate half of the sandwich, handing the remainder to Rediger, who was impatiently staring him down. Varian looked over to the small crowd of people waiting for him. Of course Rapunzel had organized a small farewell party. The boy watched the group as he waited for Prometheus to be ready to go. He zoned out, thinking about what would be next. He didn't know what came next. He was uncertain. That did make Varian a bit anxious, but there was nothing he could do about that for the time being. Ready? A voice pulled Varian back to the real world. He looked up at his father and gave a small nod. He was ready. He could do this. He grabbed a rope to guide the donkey and followed Kieran to the small gathering of people. Some townsfolk were there, along with Rapunzel, Eugene, Lance, Catalina, and Kira, and even the king and queen were there. Catalina and Kira were holding up a banner that read, "Good luck on your journey, Varian," surrounded by paintings made by everyone who was willing to paint something. Varian smiled a bit upon seeing that. He would miss these people. Hey, Varian! Rapunzel ran over, wrapping a friend in her arms. Everyone is here to wish you good luck and say goodbye. She let go of him and fixed his hair a bit. You're gonna do great. I just know it. Thank you, Rapunzel. That means a lot, Varian said, a bit overwhelmed by all this. He chuckled and scratched the back of his head nervously. Well, I will see you all again when I return. He waved goodbye to the group of people. All of them waved back, some tearing up, others smiling as Varian walked away, followed by Prometheus and Radiger. This was it, the start of a whole new chapter in Varian's life. And that's the ending of chapter 2. I will record chapter 3 whenever I can.